Welcome to the weekly water outlook. This is November 22nd, 2015. Well, here's been the snow. Here's a picture showing the big snow event over the last week. You can see this was a widespread snow event. This is taken from a visible satellite picture. You can see the wispy clouds. If you look closely, these streaks here sort of coming down right in here. But everything else is the actual image of the snow on the ground. One of the ways you can look at it, determine that it's snow, is these are rivers. You can see the rivers very clearly through here, and the bright white indicates a heavy snow cover. So you can see it's very widespread, centered over Iowa. And if we look at the amounts here, these are from observers on the ground. 14 inches, I've heard even 18 inches in a few spots, centered over the northwest part of Iowa and then surrounding states. I've also heard from some of my friends how dreary it's been over parts of the nation, eastern half of the nation. And this is the last 30 days. And look at the maximum consecutive dry days. In this case, the lower number's not all that good. It's indicating the light blue, only 3 to 5 consecutive days that have been dry in the last 30 days. So a frequency of rain events that has brought in clouds and kept it pretty gloomy over areas in blue and in green, including the Pacific Northwest and a good part of the eastern U.S. Now last week, in addition to the very heavy snow, we had a very big area of heavy rain from the Gulf Coast northward up into Missouri, parts of Arkansas. Those areas in red, that's over 5 inches of rain. The area in yellow is 2 inches or more. And as you probably hear me say a lot, it's not just the point values, but I look at how extensive it is, the aerial distribution of rain, the widespread nature. And in this case, look how big the yellow area is, 2 inches or more of rain. So this was a real widespread soaking rain. In Iowa, you can see the estimate of 2 inches here, and that equates to almost 20 inches of snow in spots. So I think that's actually fairly close with that report of 18 inches, so 14 to 18 inches in a very small area here. And the Pacific Northwest in higher elevations and along the immediate coast has been very active, not just this week, but over the last month. Those are the three really big areas. So it's a very wet week in many parts of the nation, and that is reflected in the percent of normal precipitation, with purple being well above normal rainfall and snow. Now, consequently, with this active precipitation type pattern, we have many parts of the country are in high stream flow. That's indicated in green, and very high stream flow in black dots. So the south central U.S., the southeast U.S., and now the upper Midwest and parts of the Midwest are running at very high stream flow levels. Also look at the Pacific Northwest. We're running at scattered areas very high, especially in Washington State. But we also have quite low stream flow in spots as well. It's been diminishing, but it still persists primarily over California. So you look at the spots, the hot spots that are running well above normal as far as flood. These are indicated in the black triangles here. And those are areas that are particularly vulnerable for more flooding should heavy rain move into that area. There are some spots still in drought. It has been reducing, and climatologically, this is what happens as we go into the winter months. It does shrink usually, but I think we've had more than normal with the more action areas of precipitation in the recent, especially in the south central U.S. You might remember not that long ago, many rivers in Texas were running very low, and now we're seeing only isolated spots running low. Okay, so here's the setup this week. It looks like a very interesting type pattern, not necessarily at the jet stream level, but at lower levels, I think we see it a little bit better. So here's the jet stream. It's showing bulging of the jet stream over the central part of the U.S., a bit of a dip in the east, and some energy coming in from the west. But I wanted to show you the Thanksgiving forecast here since this week. I know there's a lot of interest in Thanksgiving. And areas in blue are indicating snow, areas in purple are indicating freezing precipitation, and then green and yellow is rainfall. So it looks like over that central part of the U.S., sort of a messy Thanksgiving. Over the eastern U.S., looks like it's okay. Parts of the western U.S. it looks okay, but that central part of the U.S. could be a very messy type Thanksgiving with some rain or snow. And keep in mind, some of this area, primarily parts of Missouri and Illinois and eastern Iowa, Wisconsin, that's an area that has been quite wet. So that's going to be the first event we're going to keep an eye on, is on Thanksgiving. But I think the big event after that is going to be late next week, and this is going to be starting on the 28th. So this is way out there. I don't want to get real excited. This is probably going to change a bit. But what we want to watch here, at least models are saying right now, is there's a tropical system in the Pacific that's going to transport some moisture again into this region. We've seen this before, and being more into the late fall and winter area time of the year, there's going to be some cold air, and we could very well see a very widespread heavy rain, freezing rain, and snow event. It's way out there right now, so I wouldn't get too excited, but this is a possibility. So temperature anomalies this week, here we go. Most areas fairly close to normal, but there are some pockets of below normal in blue and above normal in yellow. Now we get a little bit further out, November 22nd through the December 2nd. Generally speaking, the jet stream a little bit further north. Here are your temperature anomalies. This is going to bring generally near to a little bit above normal temperatures over the eastern U.S. and this pocket of cool temperatures outlined right in here. And then finally, as we get into December 2nd through 7th, here's your jet stream pattern. And this looks like more of a moderate type temperature type pattern as we get into early December. Nothing all that strong one way or the other, but it looks like it could be rebounding over the upper Midwest. But I want to focus your attention back on precipitation, because I really think that's going to be the story. It has been the story. This is over the next 7 days. It's sort of a combination of those two events. This is from a model. So this is raw model output. Here's that one axis, that's the first system, and then here's that second system. And this is why I'm saying that we need to keep an eye on it, because this is the potential for very heavy rainfall amounts, 6 to 7 inches in this model. And that is with that tropical Pacific moisture working its way in here. It's way out there, but let's keep an eye on it. The official forecast, NOAA forecast, is picking up on that, and over the next 7 days, primarily days 4 through 7, we get those very heavy rainfall amounts over parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and into Missouri. There's also the possibility on the cold side of the system right here, right in this band here, of very heavy snow. And also with the first system, Thanksgiving system, some snow in this region as well, over parts of the Midwest. As far as your weekly precipitation anomaly, well, Pacific Northwest looks like it's going to get a break. It's going to be drier this week, but it does look like this is that band pushing up this week, the very heavy rain in blue, and we'll see where that goes, but that could be quite heavy. And then another band over the upper Midwest, that's going to be in the form of snow, some snow in that region. As far as week 2 goes, first week in December looks much quieter across the nation. So it looks like the Thanksgiving and then next weekend are going to be the two hot spots. So here are your hazards outlook. Heavy rains indicated in green. I'm not quite sure if this area of heavy snow is going to be this widespread. I think there'll be some snow in here, but maybe not necessarily that widespread. So your takeaway points from today's briefing. Looks like a messy Thanksgiving for middle part of the nation, and let's keep an eye on the Southwest later this week. I'll be keeping you updated on that, because that could be a very significant system. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving if you have to travel. And if you have any questions, if you have any travel questions and where you're going, don't hesitate to send them to me. I'd be glad to help you out with them. John at BlueWaterOutlook.com. Take care.